Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I was out getting some stuff done and my Boxycharm box was waiting at the door for me when I arrived. So today we're going to be doing a full demo review and unboxing with all of the items in my May Boxycharm base box. So if that's something you're into, make sure to keep on watching and don't forget to subscribe because I upload every other day. And that'll be the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. I do have my premium box as well, but I do need to, film with that, and it is currently 8:30 at night. So I'm going to film with my base box. My premium box will be up tomorrow or the next day. I will try my best. I also do want to get the answer for everybody who always asks what my box weight was. My boxes come together in a big PR box, so I don't know the individual weights of my individual premium or base boxes. So for those of you who've been asking what the weights of my boxes are, that's why I never tell you, because I honestly don't know. Anyway, if that is something you're into, make sure to keep on watching, and let's jump right into the review. First out of the box is the theme card, which is Boxycharm Flourish. It's kind of a cute little flower-ish, flourish play on the word flower, which is kind of cute. Definitely appropriate for May, which their themes have been really appropriate lately. Like, I haven't had any, like that one January, they did like rock star vibes. I didn't get that. Flowers for spring, I get that. It's groundbreaking. Anyway, this is the month 21, or the year 2021, the month 05, so May. Variation 043. So this is variation 43 of the base box, and we're going to jump into all of the products. Now, first out of the box is from Drybar. This is the Hot Toddy Heat Protectant Mist, a lightweight spray that protects dry hair from heat styling with curling, straightening, and styling irons up to 450 degrees, retails for $27. As most of you know, I am on a natural hair, curly hair journey. This is just what my hair does. No heat styling. I have omitted all hot tools from my routine. So I'm going to set that aside and either throw it in an upcoming giveaway or hold on to it on the rare case I might want to curl or straighten or do something temperature with my hair. But for now, that's not really something that I would use. The next item out of the box is unfortunately another product I cannot use. This is from First Aid Beauty. It is the HelloFab Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. Formulated with coconut water and other superfood ingredients, this complexion-enhancing moisturizer instantly brightens, hydrates, and smooths while helping to blur the appearance of pores. The result is beautifully healthy-looking skin when worn alone, and long-lasting makeup when used as a prep step. Coconut is an ingredient that I do have a pretty significant aversion to. It causes my skin to break out. And I've used actually their blurring mattifying primer in the past, which also had coconut, and my skin looked so smooth, and it was super hydrating, and my skin looked beautiful. And then 2 days after I used it, I would always get hives and break out. So not a product I would be trying based on allergies, but if you have no issues with coconut and that's not an ingredient you have a problem with, you're really going to love these primers. First Aid Beauty makes some amazing products. All right, so the next 3 items I'm going to demo and apply and use for you, but it does require a couple steps to be done. So I'm going to jump off camera, throw on my base and some other items, and I will be right back to jump into the next product in the box. All right, I am back with my base, brows, and eyes primed, in need of a serious amount of bronzer because I look really pasty. Jumping into the next item in the box, this comes from Han. This is the Han Skincare Cosmetics Multi-Stick. Clean and natural multitasking stick delivers a healthy looking color to the cheeks, eyes, and lips. Buildable and blendable formula glides on effortlessly and benefits the skin with nourishing ingredients, including organic shea butter, argan oil, and other skin-loving ingredients. Retails for $16. I'm going to use this as a cream blush today, because it is eye, lip, and cheek. I'm also probably going to use it as a lip. The color is very pretty, and I am going to apply this with a sponge. So I'm going to take my DSMD makeup sponge, pick up some blush on the tip, and I'm going to concentrate that above the apple of my cheeks, really to lift the face. So the color's very pretty, and it does have a nice little amount of glow to it. And from what I'm seeing, it's not disrupting anything underneath. It's not moving around the foundation. It's not messing with the color. It's also not picking up the foundation or lifting any powder. So from a color standpoint, it's very pretty. I do think I'm going to build this up, though, because it is very subtle. Yeah, That's very beautiful. I definitely don't love using sticks like this and drawing it directly on the face, which I just did. I prefer to just pat it on a sponge just because I find it's easier to press it into the skin versus swiping it on and then trying to clean it up. But this is giving me that really, really beautiful glow to the cheeks. I definitely still am going to need to throw some bronzer on top, but it's very pretty. Now, before I do bronzer, and then I'm going to add a little bit more of this, I will be setting that down with a powder because I like powder bronzers. And the next product is actually a liquid highlight, so I'm going to need to do that before I do bronzer. Coming from Tarte, this is the Shape Tape Glow Wand. It is an instant eye lift in a tube. Sheer liquid brighteners let your skin come through to deliver a natural lit from within glow. The Diamond Complex delivers a soft focus finish, includes a removable sponge for on-the-go blending, retails for $27. Now, judging by the color it is in the tube, this is definitely not something I want to put on my under eyes. It looks more like actually, now it looks like a concealer, but I'm going to take it on the high points of the face and blend it in like a liquid highlighter. But I'm going to take a tiny bit on the under eyes as well, just to see how it works as like a brightening, hydrating, illuminating concealer. Let's use the side I didn't put blush on. A little on the under eye is okay, but it's definitely something I would probably use more as a concealer than a highlight. So I'm going to probably have to take another highlight over it just to kind of clean it all up. But you know I love the original Shape Tape. So I'm not getting a lot of coverage, which I think is the point. Obviously it says sheer, so we're not going for intense coverage today. But it does offer a nice brightness and glow to the under eyes. So that being said, and now that I've used this, I'm going to go add a little bit of powder, throw on some bronzer, add a little bit more blush, and I will be right back to throw on the last product in the box. Okay, so I just realized I wasn't recording when I put the lip, cheek, and eye color on my lips, and I am going to say, just looking at it quickly, I don't love it as a lip color. I think it's a little too pinky, but I'm going to leave it on for the sake of the video and see how it comes together with the last product in the box. So, speaking of the last product in the box, if you saw my spoiler video, you know that of the palette options, this is the one I was more excited for. This is the Cab Cosmetics Day and Night Eyeshadow Palette. This retails for $52, and it has some beautiful, like, sunsetty with purples vibes. Definitely a color story you know that I'm into. This palette has a new formula and new sustainable packaging with 18 highly pigmented shades to create looks for both day and night in one product. Use softer, lighter shades to create your daytime favorite looks, and play around with the bolder, darker shades for a more intense nighttime look. We're going to use this for our eyes today, and you guys really seem to enjoy the orangey, warm tone eye that I did in my last video, and I definitely always go towards purples and cool tones. So today, I'm going to do the opposite and go towards some warm tones, because that's not really the vibe I normally go for. So I'm going to start up here with the shade Terracotta. Actually, no, I'm going to go instead into Burnt Orange right here. And I am going to dust that just above the socket of my eye. And then once that shade is laid down, I'm going to blend that into the crease. I'm basically going to do as close to that eye look I did in that video as possible, for those of you who were asking. Obviously using a very different palette. Then going on that same brush into the shade Terracotta, I'm going to take that directly into the socket of the eye and on the lower portion of the lid. Just to give a little more definition. Now I'm getting a tiny bit of fallout under here, but it's not much, and there's none on the other side. So I think if you're careful and you don't pick up too much product with the brush, you shouldn't have an issue with fallout. Next, jumping down here into the shade Georgia Peach, I'm going to take a little bit of that on a fluffy brush, and I'm just going to blend and diffuse the edges a little bit just to soften everything. And see how this eye is now a little bit more blended, whereas this has that harsh line still? If you like the more harsh line look, that's totally fine. I personally don't, so I prefer to just blend that lighter shade over the edges just to diffuse them a bit so that it's less a stripy line and a softer blend. And then with that same brush, I'll just kind of blend everything else together, just because we're going to intensify it later anyway, so I would rather the blend look smoother now. All right, there's going to be some layering of color, so now I'm going to go into the lid shade. I'm going to take Sunset right here, because this is the closest thing to a pink like I had in that other video. This is like a pink with some iridescent gold in there. I am going to take my Maven Rosewater Setting Spray that came in my box. I don't remember if it was 1 or 2 months ago. And I am going to use that wet and put that on the lid. It's definitely pretty, but I am going to load up on quite a bit more of that shade just to intensify. So now that we have that down, I'm going to go into Cocoa, the dark brown. And I'm still using that same brush I used first. And I'm going to just add some dark depth onto the outer portion of the eye. I used more of like a burgundy brick red in that video, but since there isn't one in the palette, I'm going to go in with the brown instead. All right, now that we have some definition in this like sultry, sunsetty eye, I'm going to take a brown eyeliner. More importantly, my favorite brown eyeliner. This is Whiskey from Beauty for Real, because it is like the perfect brown. Most brown eyeliners go like red on me. This one is a true brown, and I'm going to throw that in my waterline. And now we're going to build up the lower lash line in layers. So I'm going to use the same colors I used up top, but in the opposite order. So I'm going to start with the dark brown on a small pencil brush. And I'm just going to set down the liner and gently buff over it just a tiny bit. Then going into that terracotta shade on that same brush, I'm just going to softly blend out the brown ever so gently without getting too intense. I really just want to add this color to frame and shape the eye. Then on the other side of the brush on a big fluffy, I'm going to go into burnt orange, and I'm just going to blend from the outer corner right underneath the eye all the way to the inner corner. And then once I get to the end, I'm going to blend that around the eye. That's just going to help give us some cohesion so that the color that's on the top and the bottom kind of blends to become one eye look. And see the difference with the orange versus without? Then I like to go into that large fluffy brush with that Georgia Peach shade one more time. And I'm going to go from inner corner to outer corner and then around the eye again, just to make sure that everything has that smooth blend going on. Now, I would definitely not do a color this pink with this kind of an orangey warm eye, but this is the color that's in the box, so we're going to go with it. I am going to take a little bit more of that sunset shade, and I'm just going to amplify the eye one last time. And then, off camera, I'm going to go throw on some highlighter on my inner corner, switch out the lip to a color that doesn't make me cringe with this eye, and throw on a little mascara, and I'll be right back to talk about my final thoughts on everything in the box. All right, I am back and here for final thoughts. So the palette performed really beautifully. I think that the look is very nice. It's very warm. I'm happy with how it turned out. I don't necessarily know if I think it's a $52 value formula. I think I mean, you do get 18 shades, so I'm going to take that back because you get 5 shades for $50 from Natasha Denona, and that formula is definitely better. However, you get 5 shades instead of 18. So for 18 shades, I definitely think it turned out beautifully. I think there was color payoff. I think it blended nicely. I'm really happy with how warm everything looks. For the, I'm going to call it a concealer. It's called a Glow Wand, and I thought it would be a liquid highlight, but it definitely is more of like an illuminating under eye concealer that I would use for brightening. So rather than putting like full coverage concealer down your T-zone, maybe use this instead. I think it looked really nice, but I personally don't know if this is the type of product I would go for. It just feels like an extra step because there wasn't really enough coverage for me to not have to also use concealer. The lip and cheek and eye stain, I did switch out the color to one that was a little more mauve-y because this one was definitely way too pink to right out of the tube wear with this eye look. But it felt really nice. It had a really nice flavor to it, and it was comfortable for the entire time while I had it on. It just didn't really match with the eye look I put on, but it's definitely something I can see myself using again. I did have to layer quite a bit of that blush up, but even under powder and, set in, I still think it has a really nice blush to the skin. The other two products, obviously, I didn't use. However, I am familiar with both, and they are great products. I do really enjoy Drybar in general. I used to work at Sephora. Drybar was very heavily featured in my store, so I was very fortunate to have tried a lot of the Drybar products, but I just no longer hot style my hair, so it's not something I really need. And again, unfortunately, I do have an allergy with this product. So, all in all, this box had a retail value of $152, which for $25 a month is definitely worth it. I absolutely, even if I just liked the palette, got $25 out of the box. Now, that being said, I will say that this is not the best base variation I have gotten in the past few months, but it is definitely one that I'm not upset about. It has been a long time since I had a variation that I didn't think was worth the $25 price point. So that being said, that's how I like to decide if a box is worth it for me, is if you get more than your money's worth out of the box. So let me know your thoughts down below on what do you think. Thoughts on the warm tone eye look, because I always do cool tones, and I would love to hear your input. Thank you again, and I will see you all in my next video. Don't forget to make sure you're subscribed because my premium unboxing is coming any day now. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you all next time. Bye.